Hey guys, Wade Willis here for Wade's Weeb Reviews, coming here to talk to you guys today about episode 2 of Higurashi Go. It was called New at first, and now they switched it to Go, which, from what I've seen, is translated to Karma. What does this mean for the future? No idea exactly. And we did find out that this series is actually not a remake. It is a sequel to the original. So I'm super pumped about that because I did not ever see the original. And I was waiting to watch that because I was going to watch this and I didn't want to spoil everything going on. So now I'm going to actually just crank through the original and then enjoy this without worrying about spoiling anything. And guys, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do. I'm going to be doing weekly episode reviews of the new Higurashi series, and I'm going to probably be doing different skits and things, however I'm inspired throughout the season as well. And I'm going to be doing episode reviews and other videos on this channel as well. So please subscribe, it helps a lot. And if you enjoy the video, please like it, it helps a ton. It's actually a bit difficult to get access to the original Higurashi series. I will tell you guys that if you have a VPN and set it to Japan, you are going to be able to see it on Netflix. So that's what I'm doing now, and I'm going to crank through that series just to give me some different insight on what's going on in this series. I'm going to leave out things that I think could be spoilers, and if you guys would like me to do like reviews on some episodes from the original, let me know in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to do that since I'm already going to be watching those episodes. But overall, guys, this episode was even better than the first. I absolutely love how they are making it so eerie and creepy at times, and mixing back and forth between the moe aspects and the creepiness is just perfection. I absolutely love this. In the last video, I talked about how I wasn't completely sold on the animation style, but now that I've actually watched 2 episodes of the original, I can tell you I actually really do like this animation style. They are trying to keep it kind of similar to the original and do the original justice, but again, just make it looks exponentially better than the original. In this video, I'm going to talk about the differences between this episode and episode 2 in the original. I will leave out some stuff that happened in episode 2 in the original because I think some of that is going to happen coming up in this new series, and I don't want to spoil any of it for people who aren't going to have access to the original series. So I'll leave that out. Now, we start off this episode with Rika, the girl with the blue hair, in some alternative universe thing. Now, it's really important to note that Rika, actually in this alternative universe thing, is dramatically older. So if you guys look to the artwork over here, you'll see there's the new artwork that they're using for Higurashi has 2 forms of Rika. So I don't know if she's the only person that has the ability to go back and forth between these dimensions or universes or whatever it is. But when she's in this other place, she is a lot bigger and looks older. Now, I think that is why at the end of the last episode, her eyes kind of turned red. It had those weird rings in it. That's her going into the alternative dimension or whatever it is, I believe. So, to my knowledge, she's the only one that I've seen 2 versions of. I could be wrong, but I think she might be the only one that's able to kind of hang back and forth between these two worlds. And when she's in this dimension or whatever it is, she is talking to, it seems like it's her sister. And her sister talks about how she's like a fragment of herself. She asks her sister if she died or not. And her sister tells her like she can't tell her that. And she's holding this shard and asks her sister like where is this shard going to take me to? And her sister tells her June of 1983. Rika has a little breakdown and says, like, brings up, is 100 years not enough? And that was our first clue, if you hadn't seen some of the stuff, the news releases, that this looks like it is a sequel. That's another dead giveaway that this is probably a sequel, because she's talking about she's already been through this 100 times, this timeline. So that's incredibly important, that 100 years. And I'm assuming there's some ReZero fans possibly watching this. And if you guys think about what Subaru's gone through, that ain't close to 100 years. So imagine the mental torment that this girl Rika has gone through, living like 100 years, possibly going through all these things and murders and stuff like that. Very traumatic. And you guys already know that is seriously messed up. She mentions to her sister during this point that, well, now I know everything and I know all the rules of this town, and I'm not just going to be essentially naive, just rolling the dice, hoping for luck. So again, this is kind of telling us, all right, there's a repeating of this, and that makes sense why they keep showing us the calendar. I mentioned that in the first episode, and guys, I had never seen anything before, but they were emphasizing the calendar so much, and they kept bringing up this festival that they get into in this episode. But they're focusing on that a lot. I was like, okay, something's going to have to happen with this timeline. And looks like we have kind of a ReZero, Groundhog's Day, Signs Gate thing going on, where they're kind of repeating the same timeline. The biggest takeaway from this that I thought was incredibly interesting, obviously the 100 years, holy crap, that is a long time, especially if you're like, is this 100 times and are you repeating a month, or is this 100 years of months? Like, I hope it's 100 times, but I kind of have a feeling it's probably years. Rika says, we won our future before, and I'll get it again. So this tells us, and again, I haven't watched the original. I'm going to finish it this weekend because I have no life. But they did something that they were able to probably move forward in time past this month before, and something took it away. So it seems like she has a plan and knows what she needs to do and believes that she's going to be able to accomplish this. So pretty interesting. And one big difference other than this alternative universe thing that did not happen in episode 2 of the original, the main character actually didn't help Reina in the second episode get out Kenta-kun. So he talks about it, and then it skips forward kind of in time, and they go to the festival, and the festival really goes through super quick in episode 2 of the original. And in this, he actually gets out Kenta-kun, which, as he's using the hatchet that Reina sneaks up on him with, and he's smashing it, the way he's hitting it, I honestly had flashbacks of the first scene of the first episode where he's going beast mode with the baseball bat. And then they actually did do the flashback of him doing that, and he has the flashback himself, and he's like, he's startled by it, but then it's almost like he thinks it's like a deja vu of a dream. So, and he keeps beating this thing. Not gonna lie, I did not expect the Kenta-kun to be life size. That thing is huge. And I don't know what you're gonna do with that thing. Are you gonna put it in your room? What's going on there? But whatever, they get Kenta-kun for her. In the original, they don't have the whole zombie tag game thing in episode 2. In this, I actually did like that. I'm not the biggest like Moe fan, but I think the way that they do it in this show, it's cute, funny, they do a great job with it, and I do like the kind of like games and pranks that they have in this show, and I think it's done so far better in this version than the original. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I do like these games that they're playing. It is pretty fun to watch. And yeah, they do get through this big festival within, like, I believe the first 5 or 10 minutes in the original. Here it goes all the way till the end of the episode. They give you a little hint. You see the photographer, and he meets with this girl with blonde hair. From what I see in episode 2 in the original, this is very important. But again, this is a sequel. I have no idea what's going to happen, but I don't want to talk about what happened in episode 2 of the original because it may spoil stuff with these characters, especially in this part. Overall, guys, I'm really into this series. I told you guys I am going to watch the whole original series on Netflix Japan, and I will, if there's enough interest, I can do reviews on some of those episodes. At least do each season a review for the original. I'd be more than happy to do that if you guys would like that. And I know it is hard to access, so I'm down to do that. But I'm so pumped that this is actually a sequel, because I did watch, after I watched episode 1 of this, I watched episode 1 of the original, and I liked, there were a few differences. Episode 2, completely different. There's some similarities, but very different. And I liked it a lot, and I was a bit worried that I wouldn't be able to keep myself from spoiling it by watching the original all the way. But now I don't have to worry about that, and I'm going to jam through that. And I'll try to give some of my thoughts from things and little tidbits from the original into this one, but I will omit things that I think can spoil things that happen in this one from things that happened in the past. So, because I know there's going to be people watching this that have never seen the original. So, I don't want to screw it over for those people. I hate spoilers. So, yeah, maybe I'll make some separate videos if enough people are watching these and say they want it one way or the other. So, but yeah, guys, I'd love to know what you guys think about this. Are you guys pumped that this is actually a sequel and not a remake? Have you guys seen the original? Or is this your first time watching Higurashi at all?